Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. The show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. How are you standing, huh? Yeah, I didn't have time to clean you up, did I? Just pull you fresh out of the pasture. What's going on? I don't know. What's going on? Okay. All right. I don't really have an introduction prepared, so I'll just go off the cuff here. Welcome, guys, to my first Q&A session. I'll be doing these on Horse Forum for a little while, get some practice answering questions, and hopefully help you guys out a little bit. Okay, so let's get right into it. I've looked through the forum today, and in general, I noticed that a lot of the same questions tend to come up. That's what gave me the idea to start working on answering them. So, I looked through the questions today, and the one that caught my eye that I think I could probably help with is by Dark Pony. Dark Pony is asking about trailer loading. The title of the question is Trailer Loading Issue, Help, Opinions Needed. Now, there's already been several replies, a couple of pages of replies on this topic. I haven't read all of them, but I'm sure there's some good ones in there. But I'll just go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. Anyway, Dark Pony. First, I'll read your question. My gelding has always been a pain to load. He had never seen a trailer until he was 5 or 6 years old. He is now 13, and I've worked with him a ton on this issue, and I got him loading pretty good most of the time. He loads like a pro if there are 2 people available, one to lead him in, one to stand behind him. The person behind him doesn't need to do anything but stand there. And number 2, if someone is available to shut the door until he is tied so he won't back out. Okay? Basically what she says is that he'll get in the trailer, he'll get halfway on the trailer, but he wants to rush back out. And what she's been doing has been a method that some of the clinicians use. Clinton Anderson, I think, is a famous example of somebody who uses this method, where you basically make them work away from the trailer, like lunging them around and stuff, and then only give them a rest when they're near the trailer or looking in the trailer or going near the trailer. And she says that kind of works, but then he'll fly out, and there's really nothing, fly out backwards, and there's not a lot that she can do to stop him. Well, Dark Pony, I was thinking about this question, and you're right to have a little bit of doubt about the make the wrong thing difficult, right thing easy. In a way, it does work and it doesn't work, depending on the context and the situation and how much pressure is on the horse and stuff. But you're right. Sometimes, getting them worked up, it doesn't really get them calm. It just serves to get them worked up. So, what you'd like to do, I think, is have him load in and out of the trailer calmly, not go flying back out and have a panic attack and all that, and for you to be able to load him by yourself is what I think you're getting at, okay? So, look, the real answer is that, that your timing and your feel and your experience, it is always improving, hopefully, and you start to get better and see some of the problems and the causes of problems a little more clearly. If I could, I would transmit into your brain all of the theory and the practical parts, and if I could just do that like in the Matrix, where they, jack the back of Neo's head with that cable, and all of a sudden he knows Kung Fu, then I would. But we can't really do that, and so to try and help you, I'm just going to try to give you 1 or 2 suggestions, all right? Now, the first one is what you've already been seeing me do here, okay? I'm just standing here, and she's standing here, and I could have just been standing next to the trailer right now while I was talking to you and just letting her chill out and not be under a lot of pressure to get something done right away, okay? So the first thing is that they'll be calm, just like this. If they're not calm like this near the trailer or away from the trailer, they shouldn't be freaking out just because they're away from the trailer, okay? They should be calm no matter where you're sending them. I'm just going to give you a couple of things that you could check for trailer loading in general, all right? And now these are going to apply to different areas as well. I'm not going to work her hard. I'm not going to get her in a big sweat. I want her to think, all right? So when it comes to trailer loading, the first thing you want to make sure you can do, first I'll square her up, okay, is just make sure, yeah, good girl. First make sure that they can be relaxed and stand here in your presence without having to move, all right? If you don't have that, you're not going to have a lot of success in the other areas, okay? Next thing you want to make sure that they can do is just lead by. If they can lead by you, now she kind of bulges that shoulder into me as she's leading by a little bit, okay? We don't want that. So I'll send her front end over there. I just want her to be able to lead by me here. Okay? If she didn't go, then I might drive her a little bit from behind, but I probably wouldn't get this rope whistling. Okay? Now she's not really going by in good form here, but we're not going to worry about that quite yet, just because she's, there we go. But you'll notice her form needs some work on the left. She's a little tight, but we're not going to worry about that right now. She's a little better to the right. But you notice above all that she's not charging around here. Okay? She's just walking slow. Alright? I'll go around here. Now we'll change direction. So again, going around to the left here, she's not as good. She's a little counterbent going to the left, but like I said, that's not something to worry too much about right here, all right? I'm not going to do a lot of this. I'm not trying to get her perfect about this, but I want her to lead by, okay, at a walk. Okay, now I'll change the direction. Okay, you don't need to trot, just walk. Okay. Okay. Now if I wanted her to back up and turn, I could do that. I don't want her coming into me there. There we go. I'm just shaping up this left side just a little bit. Okay. Now she's just a little stiff on this side, but like I say, that's not something we're going to worry too much about right now. Come on. Bulge your shoulder out. Come on. Stand up. There we go. Okay. That's standing up a little better. All right. Now, all I'm saying here is that you should be able to lead her around you. I'll get a little closer here. Now I'm a little closer. I can give her a little feel here and she'll pick up her rib cage. Okay. I'll let her change the rein through the circle here. Again, I'll give her a little feel here, just like a little tickle of spurs with my fingertips to get her body picked up. I hope I'm not getting off the camera here. Now you see, I don't have to do too much to get her to work for me. I don't have to get this rope whistling and get her galloping around here to get responsive. Okay. Now she could use more refinement, but we're not going to get into that right now. Alright? Now, that was the first thing. Being able to lead her by and have her be calm. Now she just gave a sigh there. She's licking her lips. I'll have to see how well you guys can see me later on the camera. Okay? Now if your horse will do that, and they'll go by you both directions and stand here, you notice I'm not standing at her head, I'm standing sort of where my stirrup would be. That will help her relax, okay? If you can just stand next to the trailer like this, and then maybe walk away, do something else, just come back to the trailer for 5 minutes, and then go for a walk or something. I mean, get your horse's mind off of it, and keep them calm. That's how they're gonna load. All right. Now I'll give you one more technique, and this is gonna help for horses backing out of the trailer. It's gonna help for horses that pull back when they're tied. And it's a deceptively simple technique, okay? You wouldn't think much of it to see it, but if you get this good, then your horses will be better about leading, about standing tight, about loading in the trailer. And you'll find on horses that do pull back, if you try this, you're probably going to find that they've got a brace in there, okay? So this is just, and I do the same thing when I'm on their back too, what I'm going to do here. But I just like to call it like a marble on a glass table, okay? And all it means, and you'll see in a second here, is that I should be able to back her up with basically just the weight of the reins, okay? Back her up. Now send her forward. Okay? Now, before she took a step forward, her neck kind of stretched out. Okay? That's when they get stuck. And all I'm going to do is work on that walk forward to back up, to walk forward transition, giving her a little break in between each so that she gets the idea. Okay? Back up. Now walk forward. Okay? If she's crowding into me, I can just send her front end over there. Send her back end back over there. Okay? I don't want her crowding into me. I just want her to go forward and back. Okay? Now I ought to be able to pick up here. Don't want her to crowd into me. I just send her front end over if she does. And back up. Okay, now walk forward. Don't crowd into me. Back up. Back up. Keep that rib cage up. Okay, now that time there was no hard spot. Her feet came loose right as soon as that rope came, the slack came out of the rope. So I'll give her a nice little petting here. And again, if she comes into you with her front end, just take your hand over to the side and send it a step away. Like this. Okay? Now like this, with her hindquarters. Okay? They don't have to walk on you. Okay? We'll back up. Good girl. I'm on the other side now, you notice. Okay, you want to do both sides. So now, will she come up? Stop. Back up. She'll flex at the pole there a little. Now come up. Now back up. Okay. Now you want that to be soft, but you'll find that if your horse pulls back, that they'll have trouble with this right here. But I don't have to work her really hard to fix that. Okay? I don't need to get her in a sweat. I just need some precision. All right? Good girl. All right? So, I don't want to give you too much. And if you just work on that a little bit, and if your horse goes flying out of the trailer, just pretend it never happened. They're only doing that because they're claustrophobic. Okay? It's a natural reaction. And in fact, the more that you focus on it, the more that you treat it like a problem, believe me, this is from my own experience here, the more that you do that, the more it will become a problem because you're focusing on it, you see. All right, so if a horse does something quote-unquote wrong, I found that what really has helped me is just developing the ability to overlook mistakes, all right, and not to get perturbed or too upset if a horse does something wrong and still remain in control, okay? Now, just real quick, I'll show you a little trick. But just to conclude with your question, Dark Pony, just work on those things, okay? You don't have to do it near the trailer, but I guarantee that if you get those things good, where your horse will respond to you calmly and they'll just stand here, you know, she's got her hind foot cocked. I don't know if you can see that on the tape, but she's calm. And I just pulled her out of the pasture. I haven't brushed her or anything. She's kind of dirty. I haven't picked her feet out. They don't need a lot of warm-up to be this way. They just need for you to know, you know, what you're doing, or at least work on knowing what you're doing, and just give him a chance, okay? Just work with him on it until he gets good, Okay, you don't have to raise a sweat, and I just got more done right there without raising a single drop of sweat than I think you would get by a lot of lunging. And you're finding that the more you lunge him, I think, if I'm reading the situation correct, you're finding that the more you work him hard, the more that you have to work him hard, okay? Because he gets used to that being, you know, sort of the deal, okay? Horses, they get used to, however, they're used to being handled on a day-to-day basis. So if you want them to be calm, handle them calm just every day. If you want them to have more fire in them, you know, encourage that every day. To a certain extent, you can shape these horses how you want them to be, within the, you know, the limitations of their basic personality. But, you know, you can teach them how you want them to be. And I think a lot of times we get their blood up and stuff, and all we teach them is just how to get their blood up. You want them to get their blood up so that they can move for you and have life in their feet. But they ought to be able to calm down too. You ought to be able to dial it up and dial it back. All right? Now, just before I stop, I'll show you one benefit of getting your horse good to lead like that. And that is, basically, I'll see if she'll do it. Yeah, we haven't really warmed up or anything, huh? Okay, but I'll just make sure she's paying attention. I don't want to surprise her here. If she's not paying attention, it won't work. Okay. We'll back up. And she'll trot right out of her tracks. Okay. If you want them light like that, start them slow, start them light, work with precision, and pretty soon they'll trot out of their tracks, stop on a loose rein, and take a step back on nothing at all. Now, you might be able to guess that this has beneficial application to other things than trailer loading. All right. Thank you for your question, Dark Pony. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer it for you, and for being my first, you know, Q&A subject. And I hope this helps you and your horse. Let me know if there's anything else that I could do, and hope you enjoyed this video. All right.